Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Boxing. My name is Bobby Sampson. His name is Mr. Chance. Michaels. Chance, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good yourself.
Can't complain, man. It is Thursday. The weekend is here. Um, Earlier this week, the weather's just been phenomenal. So, I mean, I don't know if this is a sign of things to come, but yeah, man, let's roll up our sleeves. You're already in
Well,
tank top. So, I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is. It's a beautiful day, man.
Well, yeah, it's awesome out. 20 degrees. Can't beat it.
No, you can't beat it. Can't beat it at all, man. But you know what? Today's show is going to be with a bit of a heavy heart, man. By the time this comes out, I'm sure a lot of people already know that one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, Big George, Foreman passed away this weekend. From what I understand, it's natural causes. There was nothing really ailing him, or you know, he wasn't dealing with anything per se. In fact, I think a few weeks ago I saw him in a video hitting a heavy bag. You know what I mean? Still
No,
having
that was from over a
power.
year ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw the
Yeah.
video a couple weeks ago, but regardless, I mean,
Yeah.
76.
Yeah, I think it was about a year and a half ago. Yeah, it's been resurfaced.
Yeah. Well, I think, that I saw it before he passed away. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get into George, but before that, let's just do a quick recap of what we saw this weekend. I mean, it wasn't, the creme de la creme fighting, but we had George Kambosos and Jack Wiley having a good scrap here, man. This thing went the distance, 12 rounds. I thought that George would have ended this, but it almost was like a tale of two separate fights here. The first half of the fight, it was all George. He got cut, took the defensive stance, and opened it up for Jack to kind of really build up his name here, man. Even in defeat, I think Jack won. Your thoughts on
Well,
the fight?
Cambosis is going to get that title shot now.
Yeah,
That's what it's for. But yeah, no, Jack Wiley put out a good performance, man. Like he held his only losses, and he did lose, but he definitely elevated his standing because he's only 25, 26. So
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't expected to win. It would have been huge if he did. But yeah, he'll live to fight another day.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I see when what I mean, he won in the essence that he's gained himself another few fights here. He's, proven to be a commodity that can be worked with here. George, on the other hand, I mean, what can I say, man? I don't want to shit on the guy. He got the job done, but getting the job done, and again, take nothing away from Jack Wiley
Mm-hmm.
here, but the reality of it is, when you look at that division of 140, he's not going to stand a chance against the top three names in that division, in my opinion, man.
No, Cambosis' best days are behind him. You could kind of see it when he's fighting. He still looked good. I'm a big fan of the guy, his personality, the way he
Yeah,
fights, but yeah, he's not going to be hanging with the big boys. Let's give a quick recap on it here
sure.
because I put a we put a break by like
Round by round
round one to
breakout.
4 or 5
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
definitely.
on
So,
X. You want
guys,
to get the
before Chance gets into it, remember you can find all these amazing descriptions put out there by Chance Michael. So make sure to go over to X, like it, retweet it. This is probably some of the best analysis you're going to read.
yeah, yeah.
Take it
So
away.
here's just the final thoughts on the Convulsive Wiley fight. Sum it up. We won't get bore everybody with round 1, 2, 3, and 4. But basically, the Cambosis and Wiley fight was a tale of experience versus tenacity. Cambosis proved he could still compete at a high level, though questions still linger about his power and stamina against elite 140 pounds, as you just said.
Yeah.
Wiley, though defeated, emerged as a credible threat, gaining respect and a career boost. It wasn't a barn burner knockout fest, that's for sure, but delivered competitive drama, especially in the second half, making it a solid debut for Campos at super lightweight and a memorable night for Australian boxing. So it was a good night overall, but yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with Campos, but he did get the job done. So
I think that cut kind of disabled him a little bit, to
yeah,
take
did
more of a defensive stance and
that woke him up.
that woke him up. But I think that's what changed the tide for him as well as that cut. I mean, he had to fight defensively after that, right?
Yeah,
And
he did.
Jack was trying to take advantage of it. I mean, all the respect in the world to Jack. I mean, take nothing away from
Yeah, he
George.
would
He
have been the
got the
front row when
victory.
he's actually stepped up the fight. So
The
good for
dude
him.
bought a ticket to the show. So my first question is, did he get reimbursed for the ticket?
Yeah, I think so. Probably get a ticket
Right?
to family or friends,
Right. So I mean, he was there as a spectator, ended up in the main event of the thing with what, 3, 4 days notice. I can only
something like
imagine
that.
what he could look like if he had a full camp behind him. But I mean, I think, even when we were talking to Cassius as well, a lot of these guys are always in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
And in
stay in
fact,
shape year round.
they stay in shape year round. It's not like, back in the day, like hockey and stuff where training camp and, NFL training camp was legit training camp, because these
Yeah,
guys would come in 50, 60 pounds overweight.
Oh
So,
yeah,
I remember in the 70s, there used to be 17 preseason games in the NFL.
just to get you warmed up. Yeah.
It's a season before the season.
Hmm.
Crazy, crazy, right? Where most of these guys are in immaculate shape now, but I think like when you do a lot of work with other boxers, as part of their camp, you almost have to be in better shape than they do,
Yeah, because just you expected to push them.
right?
Yeah, you got to have that
So,
extra gear. So yeah,
I think that helped Jack as well. But I mean, if he actually had a proper camp underneath him, maybe we're talking about a different fight here completely,
yeah, yeah,
right?
possibly. But I think Campos' experience shined through. He's been there
Well,
with Haney
he's ran
twice and
through.
Lomachenko, right? Some of the best boxers
Well,
in the
look, I'm
world.
not going to take anything away from George yet because this was his first fight at 140. Let's give him
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay, so I like to see what he can do now that he's fought at this weight. Now he knows what it feels like. He went the distance at 142. So I
Yeah,
mean, that extra 5 pounds. Let's see if it's going to benefit him. And going in against Hutchinson, even this is the sad part. Even Eddie Hearns' promoter wasn't too confident about his guy going into that title fight.
no, he knows because he didn't look that great.
No,
Got the
but
job done, so maybe he'll up his
but
game. Some boxers fight the level of opponent they're fighting, so maybe Cambosis will raise his stakes up and step
I
up.
hear that completely, but my only argument to that would be like if you know where you're coming from in your last three fights, your last four fights,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're what 1-3 in your last four.
Yeah,
And there's no shame in who you lost to for those three.
yeah,
But it's just kind of like you figure you'd come out with a certain je ne sais quoi, some vigor,
you
some
think
some
so?
some salt, some grit, some sandpaper. I don't know
Yeah,
what other terms that I can pull out of the Thoris here, but I mean,
I
I
think he
expect him.
tried to. I just think Wiley was such a good opponent and such a good boxer, he wasn't able to do execute how he thought he'd be able to.
Well, no, maybe not, right? And again, that cut really made a thing. Okay, let's move on to Saturday night, man. And I'm gonna start off with this Fundora versus Booker. Wow, when I looked at them in the ring, like yes, we've seen them at the presser, yes, we saw them at the weigh-ins, but there was something about seeing them square off in the ring.
The
And
towering inferno, man. He's so tall,
I know
six
the
foot
guy's a
six.
stick. I get it.
Yeah,
He's literally a beanstalk. Like, I mean, what? I think my three fingers are thicker than his fucking calves.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Six
Like
foot six.
6 foot
Wow.
6. He was just a lanky, lanky guy. I think I said to you, he reminded me of boxing's version of Giant Gonzalez,
Yeah, he is.
minus the first suit, which made him look a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
But dude is massive compared to this guy. And it's not saying much for him because, like we said, the guy's a twig.
yeah. He's just so tall. He's so hard to get into the guy. He just stretches
And,
his arms out. Good luck getting in on him.
and we talked about it that he is more of the forward, like the forward coming puncher, this and that, and Booker's more of the counter puncher. But it felt
Mm-hmm.
like it was the other way around here. Early on in the fight, we saw him utilize his jab to get that distance and everything, and then it
Mm-hmm.
just really played with Booker's mind. Poor little guy, calling him a little guy, man. But he just couldn't get inside. He couldn't get anything started. He couldn't get moving. It's just. I think this is the problem with a guy like with Fundora. It's just he's so tall. What are you going to do? Like, what
You
can
have
you
to
do?
muscle him somehow and get in there and just,
Right?
I
Like, I
don't know,
mean,
break
I
down
would
that body.
love to see Crawford fight the guy because he's even smaller than Booker.
I know.
All right, man. So again, you have the breakdown on X. It was only a
Yep.
4-round fight. So
I'll
tell
just
us
get a
about it.
quick final thought, and I won't break the rounds. Now, round four was pretty exciting, but like you kind of already said it, but this is a quick fight recap, just real quick here. From the opening bell, Fundora leveraged his significant height and reach advantage. He started patiently using a snapping jab to control the range while Booker attempted to circle and measure the distance, which didn't work. Both
Right.
fighters being southpaws added an interesting dynamic, but Fandora's physical attributes quickly became the deciding factor. And in round four, Booker is done. Is what can you do, right? He tried, but he's getting smashed.
It's
Uppercuts.
unfortunate, man. Like, I mean, this guy's coming off 6 victories coming into this fight. I kind of expected more. I really figured, okay, you're the little guy.
So did I.
And the one thing I did take away from this fight, and I started, mimicking it just to see. And okay,
Mm-hmm.
granted, I don't have boxing stamina, I don't have boxing cardio. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sitting there and you're literally punching up, you're punching up in an upward direction. You're not punching right across. You got to
Yeah.
go. So, I mean, I was just doing that while I was watching the fight, just like
Mm-hmm.
this. Your arms get tired.
Oh yeah.
and he's got muscle mass. Muscles need oxygen, so I think this kid tired himself out. Like,
Yeah, it's just so hard because you just keep taking jabs in the face, and
honestly, man,
I
I
mean,
just think the best thing for this guy, and again, this is just me. I mean, I'm not a professional, but work the body, man.
yeah,
For you, the body was your best target. You break him from the center. He's got to come down then because he's going to be clutching his stomach. He's not going to be able to keep that posture up. The only way to beat this guy, you're going to have to take a couple shots going in, but you start working that body, I think, man.
yeah. If you can get in there, that's the hard part for some of these guys, right?
Like,
Somebody will do it eventually.
I almost wonder if Terrence could have done anything. I mean, he probably would have won
Yeah, but
somehow.
it would not have been an easy night though.
It would not have been an easy night. And I think if he had actually taken this fight when he was supposed to, maybe this Canelo fight wouldn't have happened because I don't think it would have been a pretty fight for Crawford.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, and Towering Inferno, man, like we all knew he was going to win. I didn't think we all thought it'd go a little bit longer. I think I said like round 7 and 8, but 4 rounds and Booker was done. What can you do? Just got beat.
Both guys were reversed. We were saying Booker's a counterpuncher and or sorry, Fundora's a counterpuncher,
Mm-hmm.
and the other guy's head on. Is just like they totally reversed their roles in this fight. But hey, man, decent fight. It was what it was.
Yeah,
You know,
Pandora, the Towering Inferno. It's going to be. He's a force to be reckoned with.
his sister's undisputed,
Yep.
right? I don't know. I think the Dubois siblings also both have titles as well. So I think Dubois and his sister,
They do.
and Gabrielle and Sebastian are the only two brother sister duos to have world titles right now in boxing.
Pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Fondoras are a boxing family. The dad's a trainer, daughter's undisputed, sons unified.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Pretty good genetics, that's for sure.
Something's working for those guys, man. Something's working for them. All right. So that was a weekend recap. We don't really have anything happening this weekend. We do have Michaela Mayer fighting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
She's headlining. I think it's against Terry Hatcher. So that's something. Or Terry Harper, sorry. That's something coming up here. Other than that, I think we're all gearing up to April. I don't know what it is about April, but we're not getting anything massive in April. April's a slow month here, man, as we're coming to the close of March.
I haven't really checked what's coming up. I know there was one decent fight coming. I can't remember what it was, and I didn't really go that far ahead.
I'm going to take a look right now while we're, talking about that. But while I'm doing that, why don't we start remembering one of the greatest of all time, man?
Absolutely. George Foreman.
George Bloody Foreman, the man of two different personalities, in my opinion. A man that transcended two different generations. People younger will know George as George Foreman grill guy, the happy-go-lucky guy, the big smile, the preacher, the family man, the motivational speaker. But the George I know, the George I grew up watching, and granted, I saw this all in reruns. It wasn't live for me. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the George I knew was that 1970s hit him harder than anyone.
He was a villain in those days, the bad guy, actually.
He was the bad guy. And I believe, just a quick history here. I think it was in Panama. He had an awakening of sorts that he came, he met God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everything kind of changed for the guy. But I mean, 6 knockdowns against Joe Frazier. This guy
I was just about to bring that up, actually, man.
Bring it up, brother, man. Bring it up.
1973, and Joe Frazier was one of my favorite heavyweights. But yes, he knocked him out 6 times.
Yeah.
These guys are both in their prime then. And Foreman's just too big, too strong, and hits like a cement truck and just beat the crap out of Frazier. Nothing Frazier could do. When you get hit by a guy that big, that strong in his prime, well, what are you going to do? But yeah, that was down. That was a famous call by Howard Cosell. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Yeah.
And that was because of Big George Foreman. So most people just think, oh, when Ali did it. No, it was actually because of the Foreman Frazier fight in 1973. So going back 52 years ago. 53 years ago.
So, sorry, just to quickly digress here. Michaela Mayer versus Sandy Ryan. It's a rematch.
Part 2. I saw that, yeah.
For Myers WBO women's welterweight title. This is a top rank card. This card is great. The way I'm looking at it right now, this is a prospect card.
Yeah.
The whole card is prospects. You got Brian Norman on here. You got Shushu Carrington on here. You got Emilio Vargas on here. Tiger Johnson's on here. It's going to be an interesting card, man.
Give me a good
It's
card.
actually that's a decent card, actually. Just nothing huge monster about it, but it's a good card. Other than that, yeah, the rest of March is pretty quiet, and we'll talk about April later. But okay, yeah,
Hmm.
but back to George Foreman, man. I mean, I guess one of his greatest moments, one of his most popular moments would probably have come when he fought, Ali in Africa
Yeah,
in
Zaire.
Zaire.
Yeah.
And Ali did come out the victor of that one. I loved it because everyone was scared for Ali in that fight. There's
Well,
that
because he's so big and so strong, right?
so strong, right? And there was that. I don't know. The more I think about Ali, a lot of it was scripted. Not saying scripted, but it was planned. Like the promos were planned, the
Hmm.
spots were planned. I mean, this guy took so much from wrestling
Yeah,
and
he
made
admits
it
it.
his
He
own.
admits it from Gorgeous George.
Exactly. So he took
Hmm.
so much from Gorgeous George that he applied to boxing at that time. There was that scene before they were walking out, and I don't know if you've ever seen the clip. Ali saying, "Why are you guys all scared? Why aren't you smiling? I'm the one who has to get in there with him. I'm the,
Hmm.
But Ali got the job done. He basically tired him out, man. He took
Yeah,
everything.
there's a did that rope a dope. They're saying the famous
Yeah,
rope a dope. That was this fight 1974 in Zaire. The crowd was so overwhelmingly chanting for Ali. He was a huge
yeah,
favorite, even though they both are from America.
yeah,
Ali was still a favorite there, and I
yeah.
think millions of people watched that fight all around the world. That was a couple million.
No, definitely. And
So
then,
definitely a huge, yeah.
yeah, world champion. Ken Norton was a victim of his. So there's so many guys along the way, right? This guy
And
was
three
just
years later, after that fight in Zaire, like you said, that's when he had that spiritual awakening, seen a vision of God, and the rest is history. He became a
the
preacher
rest is
and did all
history.
these
Yeah,
youth
he
camps.
kind of disappeared for a while, and then George reemerges in his 40s. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if
10
this is,
years. He took a 10-year break,
yeah, he
35
took
to
a 10-year
45.
break. I don't know if this was pre George Foreman Grill or post Foreman Grill, but I mean, he came back and this guy just picked up where he left off. I don't know if the guys that he were fighting were just,
It was around the same time before, actually, after he won this fight against Michael Moore. There, he got the girl came right after that. Actually, people forget when Foreman first came back, he took a 10-year layoff, but his first fight back was against Evander Holyfield for the belt. He lost that. Then you got another chance to fight Moore, and then he finished it at 45, which
yeah,
is
but he had
amazing.
about before he got to Moore, I think he had about 3 or 4 fights under his belt, and he knocked everyone out, according, based on what I know. I mean, I have it right here. Just give me a quick second to bring it up.
Well, he went for Holyfield for the belt, and he lost that. So he got another chance to fight Moore for the belt because he wasn't going to beat Holyfield, not in those days.
No, no, I
He's
mean,
too old.
no, no, he was.
I think it was only his second fight back, actually.
Well, let's see. So he comes back and he knocks out.
No, he had one, two, three. Tommy Morrison, he lost to him. So yeah, he had four
Yeah,
fights.
yeah. He before Michael Moore,
Tommy Morrison.
he had Tommy Morrison, he had Jerry Cooney, he had Addison Rodriguez. I mean, in 1990 alone, the guy fought 3 times
No,
before he got to Michael Moore, and then he had Michael Moore in '94.
and he even got the belt. Yeah,
He
45
got
was
the belt,
impressive.
right?
Also, another thing is that famous thing that happened in Toronto in 1975. George Foreman versus five different opponents. Just a spectacle and exhibition. And they say he knocked out all five. Some people debate that. I don't know. There might be footage of it, but that was when he came off the loss from Ali and Zaire. He came there to the exhibition fight in Toronto. Five opponents, same night, beat them all. They weren't top guys, but still pretty impressive. They're all pros.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't 100% prove this, but I believe my dad was there that night.
Oh, nice.
We were living in Toronto at the time, and I remember him talking about that event. So I don't, he's not here to,
Yeah.
confirm it for me, but just in the father-son conversations that we did have about boxing, he did mention, he was there for that.
Oh,
So
nice. Cool.
yeah. So again, I'm basing it off on a conversation I had when I was 12 years old with my father, but I
Yeah.
always remembered that event because he always talked about it.
Yeah.
Right. So George Foreman, man, and then we get the second version of George, the version that most kids and people think, the big teddy bear, lovable guy, but they don't know the savage that this guy was, man.
He was the villain in the 70s. And like you said, he came to God. He lost all that. Uh,
Bravado and ego.
yeah, and all that. He became humble and just became that. People forget, man, he had a great line during the grill there was he would say, the lean, mean, fat, reducing grilling machine.
Yeah.
100 million units sold.
Yeah.
of the George Foreman grill. It was basically the deep fryer before the deep fryer in your home.
No, dude, I mean,
A
I'm
good
telling you
version.
that thing, there are so many variations of that grill now that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So many copycat versions of that grill. I can honestly tell you, I don't think I ever actually had the George Foreman one, but we had, one of the aftermarket ones, I believe.
My aunt had the original one, and she didn't even really know who he is. Not a box. I just bought it one day from wherever she bought it. And I remember her, using it a little bit. Everybody that had it said it was good.
And to
It was
think
good.
about it, 100 million units sold. That's saying something for that time because the internet did not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody had to watch the infomercial
Mm-hmm.
and order it over the phone.
Yeah.
So 100 million people picked up their phone. Well, maybe not 100 million people. Some people might have bought a couple, but regardless of the fact, let's just
Eventually, they
say
came into the stores. You could go to the stores and get them as
you
the
could buy
time
them
went
at the
on.
store. Yeah, yeah. Eventually, it did, but initially, it was only available, via toll free number.
Yeah.
Those are good old days, man.
Yeah.
Um, the shopping network, things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
this one hits a little harder because no one saw it coming.
Yeah, he was pretty good health. But a lot of these guys, right, they have health issues. They don't want to say anything. They don't want pity. They
No,
don't
no,
want the pity
yeah.
tour. I'm not saying that that's what he was doing, but a lot of celebrities, they don't tell you that, this and that. And next thing you know, they're gone, right?
Duran's out there all the time. We see Duran all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's on his final legs. You can see it when Roberto Duran does, unfortunately, decide to leave this world.
Yeah.
It won't be as much of a surprise than this one was when it came up.
Yeah.
Just because, again, like I said, granted that footage is from a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
but just to see it, kind of show up again before all this news came out, right? Like it's a shock to the system, man. It's just kind of you're
Yeah, I'm
looking
glad
at.
I went to that movie when it came out there last spring. Remember, I took a picture of my kid, that big George Foreman poster. I sent it to you there. I'll post it on X. But yeah, it was that movie that just came out with his life was pretty good too.
Yeah,
It's enjoyable. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch a George Foreman movie. It's
no, it's really good. It was
enjoyable.
done really, really well, explained really, really well. You get an insight to this guy. I mean,
His
you know,
life, his career.
life, his career, the build up. I mean, all of it right up until he found God. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tale of two separate men, two different men.
And he was a great commentator in his HBO days too. He just had that
HBO days.
obviously
Yeah.
vast knowledge, but just a good guy, just a
No,
great guy. One of the best guys in boxing, actually.
to
There's so
be
many
honest,
bad guys in boxing, but he's one
well,
of the good
well,
ones.
that's it. That's it. And I think what kind of hits hard for me is just another indication of a generation that I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's really coming to a close.
Yep.
Like
Oh yeah.
we've lost a lot of the things that made me love boxing. I've lost
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the names that made me become the fan that I am today. I love the athletes of today, don't get me wrong. I love what we get to see today, don't get me wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
there was just something special about that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Same with
You
it's the
know?
same with the wrestlers from that era. It's the same thing.
Well, that's it, right? I mean, just when every time, it's unfortunate. Have you ever gone back to watch an old WrestleMania? Like say just put on WrestleMania 2 or 3.
I think about a couple months ago, I watched a little bit of WrestleMania 3.
Okay, so let's take WrestleMania 3. When you watch every match, and I hate to do it, but I end up doing it, and I just sit there. I go, he's passed away. He's
Mm-hmm.
passed away. He's passed away. Like for example, I'm watching the Mr. T Roddy Piper fight in WrestleMania 2,
Mm-hmm.
the boxing. Piper's gone.
Yep.
The referee's gone. Gorilla's gone. Bobby's gone.
Bobby. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all these names were gone. The only guy, like if you were to take everyone out of that picture frame, the only guy that would be standing would be Cowboy Bob Orton
Mm-hmm.
and Mr. T.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, there's
know,
not a lot of guys left for WrestleMania. There's Hogan still there, Steamboat. There's a
well, you
few,
look at you look at
but
the
not a
main
lot.
event of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Joey Morella, who was the son of Gorilla Monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. Gorilla's gone. Andre's gone.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you just look at it through and through and through.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to watch wrestling that way. It's just like I think I can go all the way up to WrestleMania 12, and half that card doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The people don't exist anymore. So, I mean, I think that's the tough part for me personally is just losing someone iconic that I grew up with, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
And a great, I can't stress enough how great of a guy he was. He's always smiling. He's always jovial. The kids love them. The adults love him. You can't say a bad word about that. We can find a lot of boxers that, they're not very good guys. This guy is he's top of the class. He's
No,
class
dude, he was.
personified.
He was. He was. He's one of the few guys, and we spend so much time and we give so much attention to shitty people
Mhm.
and discussing them that we don't give enough accolades to the guys that are in the business that are doing it the right way. I
Mhm.
mean, granted, he seems to be not being what we expect him to be anymore, but George Kambosos, like we talked about earlier, prime example. He's not a bad guy in any
No,
way.
he's a good
He
guy.
doesn't hit his wife. He doesn't beat up his kids. He
Mhm.
doesn't, steal. He doesn't murder. He just trains. He does
Yeah,
boxing. How many guys are like that in boxing, right? I mean, a lot of these guys have marks against their names, but we put them on pedestals.
yeah.
The look how great he is. Yeah, but I mean, Floyd is great in the ring, but not as a person.
No, he spent 9 months in jail for beating up his girlfriend.
Javante Davis, same thing.
Same thing.
Devin Haney, he just hasn't got caught yet. I'm not, I don't mean that in a bad way. The more I've gotten to know Haney, and I was a huge fan of Devin Haney until recently. He's become more of an ass. Like
Yeah, I
any
never really cared for him and his dad. It's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know.
I was the opposite. I thought they were great. I thought they were doing good things. They were humble. They were this and that. But now, you look at them, especially Bill. He's no better than Teal's dad. I hate to
I
say it.
know. Yeah, no, both Bill and Teo's dad just step aside of their kids' career because their kids are
They
so
do.
young.
They
Get
do.
out of there.
And like if I have to say anything, I think Teal's probably one of the nicest guys out there.
He was one of the nicest boxers I've ever met. He was so gracious, so humble. You met him, I met him. We met him at
Dude, yeah, we,
MGM,
we
and
met him at separate times, and I met him
mm,
outside, and I spent like 15 minutes with the guy. He didn't have to.
mm,
We stood in the corner of the MGM just by the entrance there, just on the outside of it, and he
yeah,
just pulled me aside, and we talked for 15 minutes. The only
mm.
downside to that was he said he'd come on the show, but I've never been able to get him back on.
Fair enough. But yeah, but he's a good guy. He appreciates his fans. He treats everybody good. He talked to everybody. Whoever
Yeah,
wanted a picture, I wanted to shake his hand for a couple minutes, and he
yeah,
didn't look annoyed and bothered by it. Like he embraced it.
we enjoyed it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna be that type of athlete and put your name out there, you have to expect it, right?
Yeah, and don't walk the casino floor after a fight if you don't want fans to talk to you, right? So, you
Exactly.
know what I
Don't
mean?
you're asking for it.
Exactly,
100%. Don't be in the scene if you don't want to be seen.
exactly,
There
exactly.
you go. All right.
Yeah, people go
So
back on YouTube. All George's fights are on there. Go watch him fight more. Lee, Frazier, they're good fights and they're fun to watch. You get Howard Cosell with the great commentating and special time. And watch
yeah,
that
no,
movie. I think his movie's on Paramount or Prime or something. If you guys haven't seen it, go
it's
watch it.
on Paramount. I believe it's on Prime. Those of us who have the Fire Stick and stuff like that, you can find down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's in there, so anyone can find it. I'm gonna take a look and see if it is on Prime. I'm not
I,
sure.
I checked for it when before doing the show, and yeah, I thought I remembered seeing Paramount, but I can't remember. It's one of the two.
If it's on Prime, I'm not sure if it's free though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Prime has all those other things they do, but Prime you get it with your subscription, then you got to buy all these channels and all these extra stuff for it.
Well, no, no,
So
no. I have a Prime prescription, Prime subscription. But if you want the Paramount Network, this and that, then yeah, you have to add it, right? Otherwise, you just
mm,
stick with the regular one. You don't need all that other nonsense,
I
man.
know.
I mean, it's just everyone's trying to get rid of their cable, but it seems like they're paying more for all these subscriptions now.
Yeah, it just evens out. Like you cancel your cable, fine, you're gonna pay hundreds of bucks for your subscriptions.
I actually was paying for all of them. I paid for Disney, I paid for Paramount, or paid for Prime and Netflix. But I took the Netflix and I gave it to the wife to pay. I said, I'm not paying this anymore.
Yeah, it's 20. I think it's like 26 bucks now.
It's $25 a month.
Mhm.
And if she goes like, okay, I watch it more. I go, yeah, you and Aria, the little Miss, they watch it more than I do. I watch it once a week.
Yeah, we need it. We need it for wrestling. We have no choice.
That's it. I watch one show a week on that thing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the missus and the little one watch it continuously. They're
Yeah,
always on it, right? So
it's got something for everybody, depending what you like. There's something there for you.
there's tons of stuff there. Don't get me wrong. It's just, to be honest, man, I just don't really watch anything anymore. Um,
Mhm.
if it's not boxing, if it's not wrestling, I'm not really watching television. I just don't.
Yeah,
Nothing really appealing to me. The only thing I'm watching right now is season 3 of Reacher that came out.
never heard of it. Is it any good?
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's right up your alley, man.
Yeah, we'll check it out. I never heard of it. But I'll check it out.
Reacher's really good. It's on Amazon, or it's on Prime. Watch it. 3 seasons. It's 8 episodes a season.
Okay.
Based on your personality, the no nonsense Chance
Yeah.
Michael. It's right up your alley.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah.
I think you'd actually really, really like it. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. It's based on the Tom Cruise movie, Jack.
Oh, Jack Reacher or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's not him. He's not even in it.
yeah. But
It's
it's the
just
same like theme or
yeah.
whatever.
So if there's eight, what I guess 8 episodes per season,
Okay.
and it's basically the whole story is around those 8 episodes, and pretty decent. I have no problem with it at all. I enjoyed it quite a bit. In fact, I didn't even realize season 3 came out till this weekend.
Oh, nice. I'll check it out.
So I was lucky to have some downtime over the weekend that I
Mhm.
got in a couple episodes.
Oh,
Not
good.
bad, man. It picks up right where it left off. I like the show, So
Cool.
uh
I'll check it out.
yeah, please do, please do. All right, guys and gals. Michaela Mayer this weekend, and all the best prospects are fighting this Saturday. Shushu, Carrington, Tiger, they're all on this card, man. You guys want
What a
to check
roster of young talent Top Rank has. I
Top
love
Rank,
it. That's
Scott?
so awesome.
Top Rank has the best prospects. Bottom
Oh,
line,
hands down.
no one can touch them. No
Hmm.
one can touch that stable of up and coming talent. Um, the question now remains is where they're going to end up,
Yeah,
because Top
we'll see.
Rank is leaving ESPN.
They'll go to somewhere streaming, man, Netflix or
Well,
something.
here's the thing with TKO and His Excellency, it looks like they're going to be taking over ESPN and Netflix,
I can see that.
right? I think with the TKO promotion, they're going to say, listen, because UFC is coming up as well, and their biggest money
Did
maker
you
right.
hear what? Speaking of that, did you hear what Excellency said? He keeps saying these little hints, like you guys would be surprised if he's gonna be a promoter for us. You know what I mean? He's almost dropping hints like it's not gonna be Vince, but he's teasing everybody. He's like he calls Vince a genius all the time. He's like, we gotta have this promoter for this company. You'll be surprised who it is. It won't be Vince because of TKO, but like he's kind of like I don't know why he keeps saying that. I don't know what else he could be talking about.
I mean,
Unless he's talking about Big Bob selling and Big Bob coming with them. Because what's
well,
Bob going to do? He's 93. He's probably going to sell it,
well
give them
no,
their talent,
no, I
cash
mean,
out.
the corporation's still there, man. It's still running. His boys are running it with him, this and that, right? I mean, Top Rank is Bob Arum. Bob
Yeah.
Arum is Top Rank. I get
But
that.
are they going? But are they going? Is he going to pull a Vince McMahon? Be like, if I'm not the boss no more, and I'm just going to sell it off, maybe
No, I don't see that. I think he just keeps it going with the family and the people like he has in place there right now.
keep it going.
Um,
Yeah,
just keep it going. There's just no reason
I hope he
unless
keeps it going. But
well, I think he will. There's just no reason not to. It makes no sense. Everyone's in place to take over. You think about it, Bob is
so is that WWE. And said, screw all you guys for selling this baby.
but I get that, but this is different,
Yeah, he's a
and
different kind of guy than me.
you're not going to get the money that Vince got for
Oh,
WWE
not even close.
Top Rank. Okay.
Not even close.
I look at Bob Arum as just more of a face. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
watch a Top Rank card, the first thing I'm looking for off the hard cam
It's
is
Bob.
Bob sitting there with his wife.
Yeah,
If that's his wife, I think, right?
yeah. This is his wife.
Right? The older lady, the older.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's sitting there with his wife. That's all he is now. I don't think, yes, he's calling some shots, but I think everyone else is doing all the work.
I think he gets the final say, like on the big fights. But yeah,
Exactly. On big stuff like that. But for the day-to-day operations, this and that, I don't think he's involved the way he used to be.
they say he's in the office 10 hours a day. I don't know.
Maybe he is, but I mean, anyone can be in the office, but you give him a color. I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Mm.
He could sit at a desk for 10 hours, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's pulling the trigger on everything.
He's not quite. He doesn't have quite the same personality as Vince. Vince would never allow that to happen. If he's there, he's in charge. Simple.
Yeah.
Right, so,
So, I
but
mean,
good for Bob. 93. He even lived that long is amazing.
no, but dude, I mean, it helps, right? It helps.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure he's got defibrillators everywhere he goes,
I'm not sure
right?
actually. I think he's pretty healthy.
No, it doesn't matter at all, man. It's just like Rogers, the Rogers family, like Rogers Telecommunication, Ted
Mm-hmm.
Rogers. I
Yep.
used to work in his building in Toronto when I lived there.
Mm-hmm.
Every floor had a defibrillator,
Yeah. He had some bad health.
right? Every floor had one, just in case they needed it for him.
I think Bob's pretty healthy though. His mind's still sharp too. So.
Oh, his mind is sharp. I mean, you keep going, you keep thinking. It's just like even at this age right now, I implore anybody, getting, in the back half of their life, start spending time on word puzzles and working, working your brain,
Keeping your
Sudoku,
mind sharp.
just keeping your mind sharp. That's all you have to do. I mean, we talk about being physical and keeping our body fit. but our minds have to be fit too. And the only way to
Yeah.
do that is by doing word puzzles and doing things, to use your fingers and your hands and your mind. I mean, that's what I do. I spend about half an hour every day, not in succession, but throughout the day, a half an hour. I do a crossword, I do a word puzzle, I work on something that just sharpens the mind.
Well, those are good. Good.
Right? I mean, that's the way to avoid all these illnesses.
Hmm.
Like the minute you stop, that's when you're allowing illness in. The minute you stop, that's when you're allowing deterioration in.
Yeah, you got to keep going. You got to do something, whether it's reading, crosswords, whatever it may be.
Yeah, like I mean, with me, and you know me, man. I always have a book with me wherever I go.
It's good.
Like I'm waiting for you. I'm reading a book.
Hmm.
Something like that, just to stay off the phone. The key is to stay off the phone.
Hard to do, but yeah.
That's pretty easy, dude. I mean, maybe I just come from that time where we still can.
Hmm.
Like I can leave my phone at home and not even care about it.
Nice.
Right? Like
That's good.
I've done that before. Like I don't need it. I hate it. If I could possibly go back to just a simple flip Nokia, I'd be happy with that. I would be
And they
happy
weren't
with
bad phones.
that. They were great phones, man. I mean, because it was a phone. This isn't a fucking phone anymore, man. I don't know what you call this,
Yeah,
right? Like, I
everything.
mean, it's everything. I mean, people go crazy if they lose it.
Oh yeah, well, you got everything. Your banking's in there. Your pictures, like it's all
Dude,
in one.
I'm gonna tell you right now. So people who look to rob me or ever, no, Samsung's phone's got nothing in it.
Oh, nice.
I got no
There you
bank
go.
cards. I got nothing attached to it. It's just, some games, some mind games, some apps, this and that,
Yeah,
books.
just
That's
the
all I have on
basics.
my phone, right? My bank cards, my credit cards, my bank cards, they don't have tap. I have no tap.
That's a good idea to have. Yeah,
That's the stupidest thing I ever seen invented. You lose your wallet, fucking before you even realize it, whoever picks it up can just go tap, 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 tap. And what they do
they
is
usually cap at like $400 or $500, but yeah, you kiss that money goodbye.
dude, they tap them onto those gift card credit cards,
Hmm.
right? They just buy cards and cards and cards and use your card and you're fucked. So what's the point?
Yeah,
I lose my wallet. I don't care. I can get everything replaced. I'm not going to lose any money because you can't get anything.
exactly. No, that's good. I don't have to tap either.
Yeah, yeah, no need for that nonsense, man. I mean, anyways, we just live. I forget sometimes we're part of the lazy generation.
I did have tap on my car got broken into at work there in the driveway, and they tapped my card $400. Like no more tap. So
Yeah, fair
yeah,
enough, fair enough. All right, brother man, let's wrap it up. Deepest condolences to the George Foreman family. He was surrounded by his loved ones. He passed away peacefully. I believe to this point, until I see something different, I understand that it was natural causes.
yeah, that's what they're saying.
So if that's the case, rest easy, big man. And that ring up in heaven is getting full, man.
Yeah, yeah. What a yeah. Rest in peace. All-time great boxer, amazing grill, and the best part about him, above all that, is a great dad, a great person,
Yeah, no, not
a
not not a
believer,
negative,
smile that can light up a room. One of the
dude.
best men in boxing ever.
Not a negative thing that we can say about the guy. Nothing,
No, he's an amazing guy. Yeah,
right? And so rest peacefully, Big George. You've done amazing things. You're with the Maker now. You're with the Father. You've done everything you were supposed to do on this planet. Thank you for your time.
absolutely.
Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for the memories. And thank you for good grilling. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance
Yeah.
Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those up down will like and subscribe to the podcast. We salute you. R.I.P. Big George.
There you go, man. And guys, faith, patience, and hard work. Keep it going. That's the only way you're going to win. Mark my words. That's the only way to go. You can't achieve anything if you don't have those three elements. And I tell you what, man, we're working our asses off. You don't see it, but the success will come. The success will come. Samp and
Yep.
Chance are out. Have a great weekend, everybody.